The Vatican archives, whenever they're going to be opened, are going to reveal extraordinary levels of details.
For centuries, the Vatican has kept some of the world's biggest secrets hidden behind thick walls and locked gates. But now, after 500 years, one of the most mysterious vaults has been opened. And what they've found inside.
On December 24th, 2024, Pope Francis will open the Holy Door of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, marking the start of the Jubilee year 2025. This sacred tradition, carried out every 25 years, symbolizes renewal, forgiveness, and hope. The theme for this Jubilee is Pilgrims of Hope, a call to millions of faithful to seek spiritual reflection and redemption. However, some believe that beneath this public ceremony lies a far darker purpose. According to fringe theories and cryptic prophecies, the Pope's actions during the Jubilee may align with an ancient ritual, the opening of 5 portals across the earth. These portals, gateways to a forgotten realm, are said to allow the fallen angels to re-enter our world. The theory points to 5 significant locations, each tied to powerful symbolism and energy. St. Peter's Basilica, a gateway of faith. St. John Lateran, the Mother Church of Catholicism. St. Mary Major, a shrine to the divine feminine. St. Paul outside the walls, a testament to the apostle who once challenged the unseen. And lastly, an unexpected place. Rabibia Prison, a symbolic nod to humanity's chains and liberation. The convergence of these events, some claim, mirrors ancient texts that describe the opening of the abyss. Latin inscriptions like Aperta Abyssus, the abyss opens, are referenced in manuscripts hidden deep within Vatican archives. As Pope Francis steps forward to open these sacred doors, skeptics warn of something more, a ritual of global significance, disguised as tradition. Could these doors be more than symbolic? Are they keys to realms long sealed away? While the Catholic Church calls for unity and hope during the Jubilee, others speculate that we stand at the brink of an unseen awakening. True or not, the world will watch as the doors swing open, one by one.
Something about this Pope may have us a little fucked up because I was really confused as to why he would ever do something so crazy as open 5 doors. Now listen, this has probably already been said, but why are we playing and messing around with things that we are not supposed to be messing around with? Okay, now I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand anything about the Catholic Church, so I'm not even going to pretend like I do. But I was raised in the Christian church, and that was barely, okay, because I'm more spiritual, always have, always will remain that. But seriously, we really are going to sit here and do this? And this was on Christmas Eve? Why? Oh my God. We are seriously in a molly wop for 2025, okay? Please. Because who thought or told this man that this was a good idea? You know what? Let's open all the doors, including the one with Lucifer. So I went down to my best friend Google, but I still couldn't comprehend the situation at hand, what was going on. So then I took a trip and I moseyed on down to TikTok University, and there I found some helpful videos, some of TikTok creators, to better explain to you and to me, if you're anything like me and want to know more about the situation that took place, what this situation could possibly mean for us as a whole. And I think that these videos are interesting to watch. Now, they might kind of repeat themselves a little bit, but some of these creators grew up in the Catholic Church, which is why I wanted you guys to take a look, because they can definitely help explain what this means, why, maybe even the timing, because the timing of all of this is definitely strange to me. It really is, and I don't like it. And there's some spiritualists in here as well that's going to give their take on what they think about this whole debacle, okay? And the fact that the Pope, going back to the Pope, the fact that they would record this and view it live for us to see is crazy within itself. Like, this is the true meaning of fuck around and find out. It really is. And I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm scared. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because 2024 has already been crazy as hell, okay, for all of us. And now we gotta walk into 2025, a whole new year, with this shit on our backs. It's absolutely crazy. So let's take a look at these videos. I'm not going to be talking in these videos. We're just going to strictly listen to these creators and what they have to say. And
On December 24th, 2024, something strange will happen in the heart of the Vatican. Pope Francis will open 5 holy doors, a ritual that has never been seen before. These doors, sealed since the Jubilee of Mercy in 2016, symbolize the passage to spiritual renewal. But this time there's more. For the first time in history, one of these doors will be opened in a prison, a symbolic holy door at Rebibbia prison. But why? After centuries of tradition, is the Vatican bringing this sacred ritual to a prison? Some say this ritual isn't just about faith. Could these doors be more than spiritual? Could they be gateways to something otherworldly? Secrets hidden for centuries might finally be revealed. And with the opening of these doors, some whisper about a connection to ancient forces. What could the Vatican be preparing for? Is the world about to enter a new era?
Look, I'm not religious, I am spiritual, but is anybody else even in the slightest bit concerned about what the Vatican and the Pope are doing on Christmas Eve? Sir, why are you trying to open 5 spiritual portals that have never been opened before? Maybe there's a reason no one's tried to open them before. Why are you doing that? On this year, in this economy, after the fucking bingo card of a year that we've had? And then also you're going to live stream the Tomb of Lucifer that's under the Vatican on Christmas Day for people to see after you open these 5 spiritual portals. So what are you doing?
Why are people saying that the Pope is unsealing, opening the Tomb of Lucifer on Christmas Eve? What's up with that? Lucifer has a tomb? Who knew? I think I figured out why they're saying this. Basically, this is the story. Christmas Eve, Pope Francis, at 7 p.m., Roman time, and I believe Italy is 6 hours ahead of us, is going to live stream the unsealing, the unearthing, the opening of St. Peter's tomb. For those of you that don't know, St. Peter is one of Jesus' 12 apostles. He's also the first pope. And they even bought a brand new webcam that they put under the altar at the Basilica of San Pietro, where his tomb is. In fact, in the catacombs, in the grottos, there are at least 100 popes with their tombs there. Why they're opening up this tomb, I don't know. I can't find the information, and nor have I figured it out. But I did figure out why they're associating it with Lucifer. St. Peter was also crucified like Jesus, but per his request, he wanted to be crucified upside down. Now, some scholars believe that it was because he didn't think he was worthy of dying the same way Jesus did. But others believe that this is where the Luciferian upside down satanic cross, everything backwards stuff came from. Which could be. I mean, I'm not saying it is and I'm not saying it's not. But I believe this is where they're getting that story from. A lot of you may not even know this, but Lucifer is not his name. Lucifer was an archangel before, and he had a very different name, like all the other archangels that end in L. Gabriel, Uriel, Michael, Raphael. They all had the L at the end. So Lucifer and Satan both, when they crashed and fell from grace and crashed to earth, and in the book of Enoch it said they looked like comets coming to earth. The explosions were so great and so devastating that they were reborn to entire different beings with the name of Lucifer and Satan. And then there are other people that believe that they're one and the same. I do not. Because there's so much mythology and history behind the two, I believe them to be 2 separate entities. So are you going to watch a live stream of the unsealing of St. Peter or Lucy's tomb? Are we going to put that back and just, The ancient Egyptians did teach us to keep our mitts off of these things and whatever is sealed, to leave it that way. And here we are. Let's open up another Pandora's box. Oh well.
A day before Christmas, the Pope will be opening 5 ancient sealed portals for the first time ever. And you heard me right, portals. These portals have been guarded and bricked up for centuries, but the Pope has decided it is time to walk through them. This is a ceremony that happens every 25 years where the Pope opens a metaphorical portal, but this time is very different. Because for the first time ever, he wants to open a real portal, and 5 of them. On Christmas Eve, the Pope is going to rise from his chair and walk towards the portal. It then says he will open the portal, and the good Catholic people who are brave enough will enter the portal and cross into the spiritual realm. And it says brave because this isn't a normal just door. This is because normally they just walk through a door led by the Pope to absorb your sins and misdeeds. But this door right here is going to lead everyone into a portal in a different realm, which is why the Pope is going to lead the way and is why it has been bricked up for centuries. So why did Pope Francis decide this is the year to test it out? We don't know. I guess we'll stay to find out.
So the Pope says he's going to open these 5 portals on Christmas Eve. What does that even mean? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it really means when the Pope says he's going to open these portals. The portals actually refer to the holy doors, not actual portals. But as you might know, a door, a window are portals. Just like in the old days where we were told, never let anything into your house without inviting it, because that is a threshold, that is a portal. So let's dive deeper into what this means. The holy doors are special doors that are in the basilica, and they are only opened on specific years where the Jubilee takes place. And here is where we get into the weird part, the symbolism. It says that the doors represent Christ, through which the faithful enter through the presence of God and receive special graces. What God? Like, for real, what God is the Pope referring to or giving good graces from? This tradition dates back all the way to 1423, where Pope Martin V opened the first door. The door is opened usually every 25 years, but this last time it was opened was in 2016. And this is not some new or unprecedented event. These doors have been opened religiously, continually for years. Here are the 5 doors that are going to be opened. St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, the Archbasilica of St. John in Rome, the Basilica of St. Mary, also in Rome, the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, also in Rome, and the Rebibbia Prison, located in Rome, but this is a new tradition by Pope Francis, who says to be doing this for more mercy and honor. The significance and purpose of these doors opening is meant to be a spiritual renewal, marking the beginning of something, marking the beginning of the Jubilee year. It encourages pilgrimage and reflection, and indulgences. So this says that patrons can receive specific indulgences by entering through the doors. And of course, we have our skeptics and our devil's advocates who rightfully don't trust the church. Let's just be for real. This is the same church that, they don't really have a good history of, being good people, I guess. But for the skeptics, this is just a century-old tradition that has been happening since the 1400s. The portals are supposed to be symbolic doorways, but as we know, symbolism runs everything, so they actually are opening something that is supernatural. The Pope seems to be focusing on mercy, which is why he's opening the doors of the prison in Rome, which just seems like that's probably a bad idea. And they say that this is being very transparent and that the Vatican has been open about this. But as we know, there are thousands of books in the bottom of the Vatican library that no one is allowed to read or see. So we know that the Vatican doesn't have a history of really being transparent, even though they claim to be. And as much as the Catholic Church wants to say that this is a tradition and this is a good idea, I don't believe them. So now let's dive into what the metaphysical concepts of these portals and what this could mean are as well. In metaphysics, portals are considered to be doorways or into other realms of existence or other dimensions. The theoretical function is that the opening of these portals allows entities to come in to this dimension. And there is a lot of historical context about portals being opened in all sorts of other cultures. So this isn't new news. Now, one of the origins of this concept of that the Anunnaki are connected to the Catholic Church is because the Anunnaki are an ancient race of Mesopotamian deities. You can see them written about in the Sumerian tablets and in other ancient works that we haven't discovered. Some theorists propose that the Catholic Church actually has information about the Anunnaki, but they haven't let it be released because obviously the public would freak out, and it goes against their control and manipulation of only you have access to God through going to the church. We know that the Vatican probably has information about extraterrestrial communication, interactions, all of these things. What's the reason that these archives are hidden from the public? Ask yourself that. It is important to know that the Vatican archives were once called the Vatican Secret Archives until 2019, where they changed the name to the Vatican Apostolic Archives, which they tried to do to dispel misconceptions about it being so secret. But here's what you have to do if you actually want to go into the Vatican archives and read any of the information. No person is just allowed to just go in. You have to fall under their specific little qualifications, which only lends more to the conspiracy theories that the church is hiding something. Let's not even talk about all the people that have gone missing, and, let's just move past that. The archives are only accessible to scholars with appropriate qualifications, typically those with a specialist degree or equivalent from institutions of higher education pursuing scientific research. But religion and scientific research are two separate things. There's an application process. Researchers must submit an application for an admission card to get into the Vatican secret archives. They also need to provide a letter from a recognized institution or qualified person in the realm of historical research. There's limited access, and only 60 academics are allowed inside the archives at one time, which means per day. And you can only request 5 articles at a time, period. And there are time restrictions. Historically, documents aren't made available until 75 years after the Pope's reign, which just makes it more inaccessible for people to actually understand what is going on or to learn what the actual information is. Let's talk about it being hidden. Let's for real. The Vatican has very strict rules about what can be brought in to the actual archives. Phones are not allowed. Only paper, pencils, and laptops are allowed. In 2010, they tried to let journalists in to dispel some of these rumors that the conspiracy theorists have come up with, but they really didn't do a good job. The Vatican does host about 1,500 researchers each year, which they try to say indicates them actively letting people have ongoing research. They try to say the restricted access is due to the fragility of the records, but let's be for real. It's about hiding secrets. Now, we know there's a global pattern of abuse with the Catholic Church. It's been revealed in countries like Australia, the US, Germany, Ireland, and it indicates a long-standing practice of hiding and concealing information. The fact that only 60 approved researchers can come in and they only have access to 5 pieces of information at a time really lends to the fact that they are trying to conceal and hide information. And let's just end on selective disclosure. The Vatican's approach to opening records, which was, I said earlier, usually 75 years after the Pope's tenure reign has ended, that was not the case. In 2020, they opened one of the Pope's records from 1939 to 1958, which demonstrates a pattern of selective and controlled releases of information. So, if you think these portals, doors being opened is just some traditional practice, I would say that I would do a little bit more research and ask yourself if you think the Catholic Church can be trusted. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have heard other theories about this. I would love to hear your theories on what this actually is, why these so-called portals are being opened, and what could actually take place or happen in 2025. Do you trust the Catholic Church?
Some pretty insightful pieces from those creators. Okay. I have my thoughts that I'm gonna close this video out with, but I wanted to first say that what I'm about to say, please, I do not mean to offend anybody out there. Trust and believe that is not my goal. I do not want to offend anybody. If you are a part of the Catholic Church, you, your family, listen, this is just how I feel. This is solely just my opinion on things. This is nothing towards you or anybody else, but please do not get offended by what I say. I didn't need to say that first off, okay? But my opinion on this, or on the Catholic Church in general, is that I have like a certain disdain for them, and I just feel like they have a stain on them in a sense. They cover up so much stuff, okay? I get. Let's just get into it. I'm trying to say things without being disrespectful, but I'm also trying to say stuff without getting in trouble either. But they've covered up so much stuff, mainly when it comes to children. Okay, and I hope you get what I'm trying to say when I say that. I mean, they covered up things from why some of their spirits are black. Have you ever seen certain pictures and they're black, but they will not discuss that? They try covering up things like that, and so much more. And it's just, you know, their history, their back history, whatever, it just hasn't been good. Which is why I don't deal with the church now. Like I said, I am always spiritual. And I don't have to go to church to be religious or anything like that. I just don't. But that's why I do not attend, because of the certain stigmas that are on these places. And these are facts. These are facts, okay? People, like, it's just so much, it's so much dirt that's been covered up and covered up and covered up when it comes to the Catholic Church. This is all I have to say about that without going into deep. And I mean, like I said, this is all really, really crazy timing, in my opinion. Like, it's just been so much that's been going on this year alone. I mean, now we have the aliens, drones. It's just so much. And it's just like the timing to this as well. On top of it, it's just really weird to me. Like a good friend of mine once said, nothing is by coincidence. I do not believe in coincidences. Things happen because they put these things in motion to happen. Now, why? That's anyone's guess, but it's not for the good of us, meaning people in general. This stuff is evil. And like I was just saying, this is not, we're in a spiritual war, people. And now we are starting to see everything come to fruition. We are literally in a spiritual war. Which is why I hope that some of you that watch that live, I'm going to say ritual, I mean, call it for what it is. If you watch that live, I hope that you guys are spiritually grounded when you did. I'm glad that I did not watch it. I just seen the little highlights, the little bits. But yeah, we are in a spiritual war. And all I can say to this is that if you're not right, you need to get right. And you need to get right now, because it's just getting worse. Like, why on earth do we have portals in the first place? Like, these questions are just not being answered. Why do we have portals to be opened up? Anyway, like, where is this coming from? Why is this here? Like, these are questions that I think about when it comes to certain stuff. And like I said, nothing is coincidence. This is not just happenstance. Get right, people. That's all I have to say is get right. And yeah, read your Bibles. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, this is difficult. This is really difficult for me, but yeah. I hope you guys like the video. Please comment your thoughts down below. Because I really, really want to know where everybody is from. And just what do you think about this whole situation in general? I really, truly want to know. So I really appreciate if you guys watch the video till the end. That's another thing. I would love your guys' support. And I need you guys to watch the video and give your feedback. I'll see you guys on the next one.